Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of the SGBL podcast. I'm here with my brother, Aldim. Say hello.
Hello.
And we are here with our guest today, the mod, the Shirmp, Frank the Shirmp. How you doing,
Man,
dude?
I'm doing good, but I can't believe you forgot to mention Flygon Season 1 champ. That's crazy. But
Oh, we don't want to hype you up that much yet. We'll get to that point, We'll talk about your
okay, I'm
past
sorry.
season, and we'll celebrate all your accolades in the community and everything.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I got a little ahead of myself. But yeah, hello, y'all.
So, a couple things. Everyone who doesn't know Frank yet, he's one of the mods in our server. And yes, as he so nicely mentioned, he was the Season 1 champion of our Flygon mid-tier division. And he is one of the better battlers out in the community right now.
I wouldn't hype myself up that much, but yeah, I can battle sometimes. I can prep, I can draft.
Be honest, you're one of the GOATs. You're probably top 5 behind me, myself, and I, and then of them, and then you. So you're
Okay.
definitely top 5.
I'll gladly take that.
What'd you say?
Crazy how you give yourself 3 spots.
Obviously, 3 spots for the 3 wins I had in Rad Red last season. So Frank,
yeah.
talk to us about how did you get started in Draft League?
Okay. So you've guys been in the CPL, right? A server I help run, right?
Mm-hmm.
So first, a good buddy of mine, Confident Oyster, maybe he's somewhat around. He was like he's an RU like Smallon player or something. I don't know. But yeah, like he introduced me to this server. He invited me over, and it was fun. I subbed so the only season I've never made playoffs in was because I was a replacement coach in this draft league. And so, right, I joined and I inherited a team with a 0-3 record. So, the odds were stacked against me, but I think I went like 5-2 or whatever, like for the rest of the season. So it wasn't that bad, but yeah. So that was my first season, like my first experience with draft, and I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. So I joined next season for that league, and it kind of just branched out from there. We hosted some draft leagues in the CPL, but I expanded to other leagues and stuff, met other people, and yeah, I mean, I always I always say battling or like playing draft league is like the worst thing of draft leagues. I'm just joking. I love the community, and it's just very fun to be around.
Great answer.
So I've been around the block a little bit.
Yeah, you definitely have been. And to say you've only missed a playoff in a season, you went 5-2 after taking over an 0-3 team, definitely proves my point that you are one of the better battlers, and you're one of the more creative people out there in terms of building.
Yeah, I mean that's what the 3 a.m. brain 5 minute time. No, I'm just joking. I do prep late though. I'm not gonna lie. But I not taking too much time is great because then you can jawn right afterwards if you lose. You're like, it was only 5 minute prep too. I had like 20 more minutes. I would have won. Or you just lie to yourself like that, and it's funny.
Tisk. We don't always accept genres in our mod team.
Oh no!
You gotta make room for you. You know your stuff though. That's what matters.
Yeah, Frank over here is posting Johnny post every time it's his turn to draft.
No, I promise we're not actually Johnny. We're just discussing really in depth. If you saw the conversations, they can get very heated. Yeah, like yeah. If you're in a team tour and your team is not insulting each other, is that even a team tour?
Oh yeah, for sure. No, because I'm doing a team tour now as well, so I know that pain of trying to get picks planned out.
Yeah, and everybody's just like frantically waiting for everything to like go right, or like waiting for like a community build, but no one puts it up yet. It's so funny.
Yeah, for sure. So speaking
like,
of that now, I kind of want to transition into this where you're talking about doing the drafts and how it gets frustrating and everything. What do you think of the teams you've drafted so far in the team tour that we are doing in the server?
ooh, Okay, well, of course, I'm a pick. If I'm gonna be totally biased here, it's obviously gonna be the one. My favorite team is the one I'm drafting all by myself, basically. But realistically, I kind of like all of them. I think all of them have a very clear direction. Um, and like so, I could play every format if needs be. If something pops up for one of my teammates, I can take over. 'Cause, I'm very versatile like that. I didn't put every format in the application because I've played one Ubers league and I've played one Insurgents league, but that was like a gimmick league too. So I'm not gonna like say I'm like the best at this, but yeah. Personally, I really like our Ubers one team. I'm a huge fan of like like stallier teams, quote unquote. We have like a lot of good things there, and as well as I'm very excited personally. I think mid tier is probably my best suit, maybe. So I'm very excited to use like Serendipity and Skeledirge in a mid tier one team again. Sadly, I couldn't, spread the Slurpuff propaganda, but it's fine. I could spread the Hisuian Quillfish propaganda in mid tier two, and I'm okay with that.
I mean,
But
you talk about not spreading the Slurpuff propaganda, but that thing went 7-2 last season for you, and I
yeah,
think everyone knows how good that Mon. I mean, I think all of us know how good of a Mon it is in regular draft, let alone low tier or mid tier, as we ran last season.
wait, I don't even know. Yeah, no one has drafted Slurpuff yet. Nowhere. So.
You got grace period to fix that, Frank.
Hopefully, but even if we sadly can't get the best Pokemon in the format, we'll make do and make what do.
Absolutely. So, Frank, I want to kind of talk about, the what teams are you? You're the one you're focused on drafting right now is what? Are you focused on the mid tier team or?
So as you may know, right, mid tier is over with, but I gave some input. Our team kind of had a direction where they wanted to go with, and I'm not okay with that because I know I'm not going to be able to play every week, right? Like one specific format. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just give some ideas and see what they think, and like let them draft something comfortable. But like I said, I do feel very like pretty familiar with every format. I have experience. I've played like some like funny matches or like random battles in every format as well. Um, so I kind of get the gist of it. But personally, right now, the only team I've been like really like fully in charge of that's not community driven is our Rad Red 2 team. And for the people that might not know, the team includes Milotic's Sevi, Scissor Mega, well Mega Scissor, Latias, Quillfish Hisui, and the Sujoi Hisui. So it's very like bulky. There's a lot of pivots, and I think that's just like a very simple play style. But like I feel like a lot of these mons are very versatile. Mega Scizor can like run bulky, it can run defog support, anything really. Sword Sand, of course. Melodic Sebi, same way. Latias, same way. It can be like a bulky sweeper, setup sweeper with sword power. It can do anything really. And Quillfish, again, I love Quillfish, and then it gets flip turn in red, so that's very cash money, as I say. And then the Decidueye Hisui is just great too. Very like it's a great wall breaker. Can run support sets I've seen, and I just see this thing just kill it in red tours all the time. So I'm excited to use red Decidueye Hisui personally.
Yeah, you talk about having pivots. Every single one of those mons that you've mentioned on that team can pivot. They all have pivoting moves, which is super
Yeah,
crucial in draft.
yeah. I mean, I'm not like a huge advocate for that type of playstyle personally, but I
Gonna
think
say,
it's super like easy and like you can kind of do a lot with it too. I mean, I'm looking at some mons, but I'm not gonna reveal my draft plan. At least not yet. Well, I mean, I guess I could, but it's whatever. The draft plan is look at like one bit before you and look at the draft board and your point total. But nah, I'm just joking.
that's pretty much the plan. A lot of times, that's what I go with when I go into draft, and I just see, I see when I want to
And
pick my low tiers and stuff for that reason. So just in general, like how do you figure out your draft plans? Like, or how do you approach a draft? Like maybe not as much like a team tour like we're running currently, but what about
Mhm.
like a draft format that's more traditional and you whatever the format is, how do you approach it going in, during the draft and everything?
So I'm not that big of a draft planner. I just really don't believe in that.
Mhm.
I think most of the time, depending on the format, I kind of have like an idea of one or two, 3 months I want to use, like, or draft in round one. So I'm like, okay, like let's say in like mid tier, I'll say, okay, well, I want something that can pivot into physical attackers. The physical attackers in mid tier, they're a dime a dozen. Like they're everywhere. So you need to have like a nice bulky beginning to a team. I felt in that format. So I was like, okay, well, I think Dirge is probably the best one here, and it probably won't get picked up because everyone sees the shiny 20 or 19 pointers, but no one. I feel like no one drafts an 18 pointer right away. So I was like, okay, I can pick this up, and I can kind of like build like a bulky-ish team, and that's sort of what I did for the first season. For Flygon. But like usually, yeah, I'm just like, okay, let me figure out a mon I kind of want to build with or use, and then go on from there. So I'm like, okay, like round three, oh, I still need stealth rocks. I can pick up a stealth rocker right there. Or like, okay, well, I have like a dragon and fairy. I can pick up a steel type here. So just like building cores as I go. That's sort of the plan. I'm not too. I don't do that all the time, but most of the time that's how I do it. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
No, you're
Yeah, I
good.
think yeah, no worries. Yeah, I think that's the approach I generally take with a draft, looking for the one or two mons that I want to test out and use, build a team around. And then from there, again, it's you go as the draft goes. I'm not a planner either. I feel you just spend too much. There's people who spend hours on it, and then one mon gets taken, and their whole plan goes to the garbage. And it's just like, all right, that's you wanted to pair Tapu Koko with Valiant and Bundle. What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, and I think that's just like it's more like emotional stability in a way. Like, yeah, you don't get mad about Snipe because you don't even know what your plan is most of the time. So yeah, I'm okay. I'm a big fan of like that type of drafting. I know some people, like you said, they plan out their draft very meticulously, and that's cool too. But yeah, personally, not for me. I'm just more of a you do it however, and I'll go where the wind takes me type of way.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. I like to hear that. Just kind of go with the flow, see what happens. You get certain mons that you're thinking of, and just make it work any way possible.
Yeah, sadly though, I'm pretty sure that I'm in the curse. Like I have a curse sometimes where I just like getting mons. Like maybe I have a good season with somewhere, and I just like want to force bring them, even though like they're not like that synergistic with my team. Uh, like weirdly, like I love Mr. Mime Galore, so I try to bring him like every time almost. And most of the time, he does not do good. I'm not gonna lie, but sometimes, other times, he does okay. Like he gets healing wish, he gets freeze dry. That's all you need sometimes, and rapid spin too. So yeah,
So,
and
yeah, what mon would you say fit that for you outside of Mr. Mongal? Or like, what are other mons
uh,
that you did? You go to a draft and you're looking through it. You're saying, all right, I need to fit these roles. And there's just always that one mon that, or one of the two couple mons that, how do I fit this onto the team? Because it's just it's a mon which I've always had success with.
oh man, there's a lot of them. I'm not gonna lie.
What are your favorites then?
Um, so usually, oh man, like I just love anything that can that's like bulkier. I'm a big bulk guy. Um, so I'm sorry, I'm just looking through some of the old uh what's it called? Like draft leagues I've been in to see if I could kind of figure out what Pokemon I really like using. But a few that come to mind. Oh man, this is so many. I'm a big Bickable guy. Just like a cheap bug that can like sticky web, levitate, bruise. Like, I'm a big fan for that. I mean, you can never have enough ground resist in a team or like immunity. So levitate is good, sticky web is good, roost is good,
Yeah,
pivoting is
yeah, you're
good.
talking to the two biggest Vikable fans ever here.
Yeah. Oh man. And then I'm a huge Stila guy. I don't get to draft it that much, but I love Stila. I love the variety of it. And oh man, I'm just out here trying to find dogs, man. I'm so sorry. I love. There's a few other ones. I'm trying to see. Oh, Sarud. Sarud is my love. I love that thing. Even without, I mean, pre knockoff, I just like fast U-turner that can like set up on anything because of jungle healing. It's just beautiful stuff. So yeah, I'd say Stila, Sarud, Mr. Mime G, and Pickable are some of my favorite to draft. And like in Rock Dusk, I get that thing whenever possible. It's like, okay, I need something offensive. Let me just bring Like and Rock, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I think
no,
that's awesome.
we
So,
all love Like Rock here.
Yeah.
talk about one of the best mons, like for a mid-tier, 12-point, whatever mon that it is. It's definitely one of those mons that it just so brainless at times to use, but it's just so good. It has just enough sets where it's like this thing just puts in work every week.
Yeah, you can do Endeavor, Lead, Focus Sash, Bandit, Life Orb, like Expert Belt. I even tried to cook one time and bring like AZ with sand. It did not work out, but it was funny though. You gotta try out some sets sometimes, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
like when we talked, when we did the interview, the podcast episode, I mean, on your show, and how I talked
Mm-hmm.
about the million different Zygarde 50 sets I've used. It's you gotta try things out.
You said that you've used every single move that it has, basically, it's just like one or two.
Yeah, like one or two obscure moves, like kind of like Wrap I've never used because Thousand Waves kind of does the same thing.
Hey, what about you trying to trap a flying type?
True.
Just mind that you have 1,000 arrows to make them grounded, but
Yeah, for sure. There's plenty of different sets. There's plenty of mons that you can use. But going back to your championship team, Slurpuff was obviously your MVP in your mind, right?
yeah, of course. I try to. I mean, I force brought it to the finals. A lot of people were saying, "Don't bring it to the finals." I'm like, "That's my mascot. How can I not bring it to the finals?" I basically brought it. Just it didn't do anything. It just did like 70% to a Weezing, but it did its job.
No, for
Yeah,
sure.
nothing like that belly drum set not killing a wheezing from Chip.
Yeah, it was it was like a fool. Maybe I have like some hazard stack, like a stealth rock or two would have been worn down more, but it's fine.
So, what was your favorite game from this season?
Ooh, there's a lot. I I kind of just want to say, just to like rub some salt on the wound. I want to say the Sombra game where the Dunsforce got two Omni Boosts with Ancient Power and he just swept. But if I had to not make just 6-0, I really liked what was it? I think it was the game with Perturbo week 2, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to find. But that was such a close. Oh no, it was a 4. No. Week 4, I think. Yeah, because we were like 2-1, and we
Hmm.
were like really high. So I was nervous. And I
Yeah,
don't get nervous too much, but I saw Perturbo and he made it, so I was like, he had some up, like a hand up here. But yeah, I did pretty well. I'm pretty sure, of course. Oh my, I pressed the wrong replay. But yeah, it was like there's not too many close battles this season for me. It's most of the time it's a wash, and
yeah.
like
I mean,
I don't know if I mentioned this though, but like after week 4, after I beat Perturbo, I was just memeing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably in. I don't have to reveal many sets, so I just started to meme. Like against Phileas, I brought Mono Quick Claw after that against Sombra, I brought Mono Berry. And then after that, it was like my worst team of all time. It was Mono Throat Spray. And then for the final week against Marky, we were both in, so we were like, okay, let's just do a meme match. So we spun wheels to decide who was in there, and it was so funny.
That's funny, dude. I was gonna say, like, you brought Rookie to the championship match also. Like, you talked about like, oh, I don't want Slurpuff was such a force in that game. I don't know if I should bring it, but dude, you literally brought Grookey to the game, not the wacky, which obviously you didn't have, not like Rillaboom to a championship. This was first form Grookey coming to a championship match.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is that Guki, he lived he lived in the championship, so he didn't die in the championship. I didn't sack him. He was out there in the back supporting. He was giving some tips on how to weave stone edges to Sigalith.
Wow, so talk about salt. Probably I would imagine Phoenix was probably a little salty on that one. But hey, dodging's a skill, as they say in the biz.
Yeah, you had to be lucky. I mean, you had to be skillful to be lucky, right? You can be the most luckiest guy and still lose. So.
I mean, Alden knows it best, right?
Yeah, I love 90% accurate. I call it 10% for that reason. It's not a 10% you miss, it's a 10% you hit. For how inaccurate those moves are for me.
Adam's luck just he loses all his luck in the semis of every draft league. So I've heard.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's my specialty. I can get all the way to semis in any league, any division. It doesn't matter. Once I get there, my luck stat is -5. It's just I can't do anything past that.
Just bring aerial ace all the time. It's that simple. And she like shell armor.
I know, right? I'll just make every Pokemon have those two sets and just win with it
Yeah,
somehow.
just aerial ace and shell armor plus like leftovers or something, and you'll always win. Trust.
Fair, fair. I need to take this advice for my next big game. I'll make sure I remember this.
Yeah, but I mean, I honestly, I just can't talk enough about how well Flygon Division was. Like, not even just fun to play as. Like, that was pretty, like, obvious. Like, I feel like we had like the best community too. Like, everybody was so hype. Everybody like loved each other. I always called everyone goats because they were. Like, I have a good like I basically have good relationships with like all the coaches that are still here. So like I'm very thankful that we had like such a good community this season. like the a few big ones are like Trey Trey Young. Like he's just funny, man. And Big Farmer, right? I'm not just saying this because he chose me to be in his team. But yeah, I love that dude too. Marky, he's amazing. And Perturbo too. He's very funny, as you can see from his channel with of the DMs and stuff.
I don't know how you consider. I want him to hear this. What I'm about to say. I don't know how you consider that funny. The dude's ratting himself out to be the kind of a psychopath.
It's
Bubba is
fine.
an angel of a person that she deals with all of this. And Perturbo, I mean, we love him here. But God, what a. I don't even know why that channel exists. That channel exists just for Perturbo's, like, masochism, I guess is the word. I think that's the appropriate word for him. Because he just wants people to, like, rip him. Thank God everyone seems to be super nice and never says anything. So I have to be the bad guy and be like, hey, dude, what's wrong with you?
Hey, but sometimes like I sometimes say, our draft league players. I feel like as draft league players, no one's right in the head. Sometimes that's how it feels like sometimes. But we love all draft league players. I'm not gonna lie. So it's always just funny to see like the funny interactions or like quote book channels in draft league because man, the things that people say are just wild. Even with context, it's like horrible, but it's funny.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm in a couple servers with quote books and such, and Without context of the things I've said, it's just funny.
Even with context, sometimes, man, it's horrible. It's like, oh my
Oh
god, why would you say this?
yeah, I know. But I mean, listen, I decided that we are never gonna make one here, so I never expose myself.
Yeah, man, you can't expose yourself, and there's no gateway to do that.
Exactly. Can't be a canceled field. I can't do it again. Gotta be on the up and
Not
up
again.
this time.
Not
You
against
can't,
field.
you can't get your lawyers into this again.
Exactly. They're running out of good suits. They can't do it to them.
The budget of this league is not going to be able to afford another field lawsuit.
They can't. It's too adorable.
But yeah, like I really do love the community though, and I feel like everybody really did draft such a great team.
Mhm.
Like there was not one week I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be easy pickings. Like I was like, no, every team looks good. It's hard to prep for, and if you see the new mid tier prep, I mean mid tier tiers, I guess you see some Pokemon have gotten up because they're definitely that good, you know. Because I think Mega Pidgeot's banned, right, and like a few other things got banned. 'Cause, they're so good. But yeah, it was really interesting. I'm very glad to be part of the first season of mid tier.
I mean, it's the best draft. I mean, clearly, I say this a lot in the channel. I don't understand it. Like, I understand why people enjoy playing the format. I just don't understand how like those drafts go by so fast. Games get done always. Like I didn't have to do anything in that division, and the mod was the best mod we had for that division. I won't say his name, and so it was, dude. He was. It was just like I did not touch anything on that dock. I did not touch anything in terms of like asking people to get their games in or anything. And it just, for whatever reason, people are so into it in a way that I've never really seen. And it's really cool when you get the community of people, bonding like you guys did.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, you said that this was the draft league, the division that had like the most applicants, right? Like it filled up like right away.
I mean, it wasn't that we filled it up really fast. It probably filled up the fastest only because people who signed up for multiple leagues, we try to
Hmm.
divide them up. So they would do one. And I think the only people we gave two leagues to was Sombra and Alden. And they were the
Yeah,
only people who got two right off the bat. But everyone else did one. Like I only chose to do one. If I wanted to do two, I would have gave myself two. But I only chose to do one division. Alden and Sombra did two, and then the other 78 applicants were all in one division only.
yeah,
And but it wasn't just that it filled fast, Frank.
hmm,
It was people were just like engaging with it. We had also really good advertisement for that. If you saw the old advertisements I did, dude, I think it was probably like my best work ever. It was, hold on. Sick of Dragapult somehow being the best, still being the best mon in the format. Sick of a dolphin murdering your whole team with one punch. Man, well, the SGBL is running a low tier division. Bro, does low tier not really match up to what it is? Vermont generally ranked 10 points or less this season. That was also a lie. This will be an 8-week regular season and then the basic generic stuff you put afterwards. I posted that in like a few servers, and again, people just came like crazy for it. I thought that was like my favorite post I did for ads because
yeah. It
most
was
people,
the best one. I
dude,
remember seeing it.
it
If
was
I'm not
super
mistaken.
funny. But yeah, you guys really engaged, and it was really cool. So I do have a question for you though. Like I
Hmm.
remember you asked me this when we spoke previously for your podcast, but what are your favorite? What would you say have been like your favorite seasons in draft, and what makes a really good draft season for you?
It's all right, of course. I'm a mention the Flygon division here, right? I really enjoyed the season. All the community was really fun. It was awesome. But not to stop being an SGBL homer.
Yeah.
Let me go through. Oh wait. Oh, let me see. Oh god. I remember. So I don't know if you know, but Ty, uh, ooh, uh
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
he he
No.
he I forgot who invited me to PWBL or something. Oh my god, I just can't.
Okay.
I need to. Let me give you the exact name here. I'm out here stumbling. But yeah, I'm pretty sure because I'm still in the server just for like the good time.
You're filling in too many servers and not using your folders properly.
P-Val. I forgot who showed me the server, who invited me over.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I love that season. Mostly okay. Well, I lost in first round. I didn't have the luck I do today, sadly. But because I got hacked out. I've shown at them the replay. I got flinched like 4 times. I got frozen in like the last like minute, like the last turns. Calusa had piled on with Sabrud. It was horrible. But yeah, I love the team. Mostly because my guard top was my first round pick and he barely had one kill the whole season. And like I beat the guy that only had 2 losses the whole season. Like he lost in finals and he lost against me week 1. And I felt so happy about that. And there's just like so many great moments there. The community was awesome too. And I just gelled with everyone right away. So yeah, if I was to say like a second favorite season, I would say P-Val because I enjoyed my team. That was the Vicable, Garchomp, Sarud, a few others. I think I had like Alolan Sandslash in there too. And it was just awesome, man. I cannot lie. Uh, actually, wait, let me tell you the full team. Now that I'm talking about it. Uh, oh,
I'm excited to see how you built a regular Napdex team.
Yeah, I am as
okay.
well.
Or Paldeodex, whatever.
Yeah, it was Natix. I could send over a screenshot. I'm gonna just say it out loud.
Yeah,
But
just say it.
it was Garchomp. Well, this is from ordered like how I drafted, like the
Mhm.
whatever. So Garchomp, Heatran, Togekiss, Sarud, Slowking, Hitmonlee, Mr. Mime G, Stickable, Haunter, Thunderous, Kamala.
Yeah. Outside of
Yeah,
Garchomp and Heatran, I would and Vikavolt, obviously the GOAT. I would never use half those mons.
yeah, it was such a ragtag team. Like I said, I love Mr. Mime G. Like it's one of my favorite Pokemon. So I had to draft it. So that's why there's like 2 psychic types. But I like this team. My kill leader was Sarud because he got like 6 kills like the last week.
That's funny.
But yeah, it was really funny. It was great though. Let me see. I don't think I can find. Wait. Oh, it should be here. Yeah. Okay. So, like, I brought Garchomp 8 times. He got 1 kill and it died 7. It was so bad, but it was funny though because it was just my stealth rocker basically most of the season. But then you see the Garchomp stat line and then you see the Mr. Mime stat line, which was 5 kills, 6 death. You're like, how did Mr. Mime get 5 times more kills than Garchomp? And it's just so funny.
Bro,
But
I
yeah, like,
don't. Mhm.
oh, I'm sorry. So like, everything got a kill. It was super like nothing had like 20 kills. So like I said, Saru led the pack with 8, and then Thunderous was 5, and everybody else was 4-1.
I mean, it
It
kind
was
of sounds
great.
like your championship here, where you had a couple mons with 7, but nothing really popped off like that. Where you know you had a mon with like 15 or 20 kills on the season.
Yeah, like and also I guess to kind of fit that terminology with draft, I don't like drafting one like, oh, this is gonna be my killer for the whole season. Or it kind of goes that way. I'm like, no, I'm a draft for like need slash like, okay, well this month's gonna get probably a few kills here and there, and that's gonna be okay because I don't need to rely on this mon just to get every kill because everything can kill stuff. So yeah, that was my thought process personally, always for like draft league, just to okay, well I'm not gonna draft this like I don't know like Shampoo, right? Like in Nat decks, I'm gonna just look for something else that's more like a foundation and try to go from there.
So, what would you say has been the difference from draft leagues you've enjoyed versus not enjoyed? Like, is it mostly just how you do personally in terms of wins, losses, and everything, or is there anything more that makes you enjoy or dislike a league or season?
A lot of the times, it's not like I've had one season where I didn't really enjoy. I'm not gonna put the league on blast or anything, right? But yeah, like there was one I didn't really like, and it was mostly because like I felt like management of the draft league was just very like bad. Not bad, but like they would get like they wouldn't separate themselves like as people from like the moderators. Like if that makes sense. Like if you gave a critique about how they modded, they would think that you were personally attacking them.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, I love the people from that server, so I can't be too down on it. But yeah, like that was just a little sour note. But
Mhm.
mostly, yeah, I'm a big I guess you can say vibes guy. So if the vibes are good, I don't care if I go like 0-8, which I will never go by the way. But
'Cause you're
but
the
yeah,
GOAT.
like I'll be happy. I wouldn't say that sadly, but yeah, I can make playoffs if I try. You know, even
Yeah,
if
of
I don't
course.
try, I can make playoffs.
Yeah, man. You have good experience with draft. You have a feel for like certain mons, certain styles, and everything. So
Yeah,
speaking, I do have one question for you now. Going back to that team of yours, that was one of your favorites. You mentioned how you had Kamala on that team. Was there a game where you had like a crazy tech on it and you were ready to just use it just to kind of throw everyone off guard?
no, sadly, well, I flamed out in the first season, in like the first round, right, because of hacks that season. Sadly, I really do feel like I could have won it all, but you know, Johnny slash hacks aside, I only really brought choice ban last resort just because it's so funny. And I was like, okay, I need a nuke button, so it got 4 kills though in 2 games. I can't complain about that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you take those stats. Those are great stats right there. 2 kills a game.
Yeah, I only died once.
Wow. Hey, Kamala's one of the GOAT mons, one of those GOAT low tier mons that you draft in a Natdex team.
I would say this. I remember wanting to bring like AV, like knockoff, rapid spin. I was like, nah, that's too much work. Let me just bring funny. And it worked out. It works out. I mean, I at least won a game with it, right? Because it didn't die in one of the games. So I was happy with that.
Nice, nice.
Oh,
That's good.
and
You
I
always like
love that
seeing that.
season. I love that season too. Because I started kind of mid, I'm not gonna lie. Right? So I beat like the second place week 1 by 1 point. And I was like, how the hell did I do that? Like he had like such a great team, like top to bottom. Like he was a good player too. But then like I went really mid after that. I went 3-1 the next 4 weeks, only beating one person. But then I just turned it on, and I won 5 in a row.
I mean,
And so I was
hey,
like,
we
man,
love those.
yeah, I was 4th seed, pretty sure, 5th seed, something like that. I don't know. Well, I mean, I was top, whatever. But yeah, I was
Yeah.
4th seed. I was 4th seed.
Hey,
Yeah,
no,
it was.
listen, that's
Yeah,
still a good seat to get, even though you went 1 for 3 at one point. Then that big 5-0 stretch to end the season. It's always nice to have that good run getting into playoffs.
yeah, it
Uh,
always feels good.
mm, no, hey, that's great to hear, though.
Yeah, but that season was kind of scuffed. So I mentioned it a little bit, but right. So I'm now good friends with like one of the owners slash mods of it, and his name is Ty. Right. So um so somebody had to drop in playoffs, and I don't know how they did it, but they put him up to the 5th seed to go against me round 1. Right, and that's the game that he hacks me out. You know, no skill or something. Saying no, I'm just joking. No, but yeah, like that unfortunate game where I got frozen, like last 2 turns, and I lost the game on that, and I had 4 flinches against me. But it was funny because right after he like beats me with like the best hacks you've ever seen, he says, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna retire from draft." I'm like, man, you could have done this 1 week earlier, man. Like, come on. But I mean, we're still good friends. We still talk. So it was fine. And he always tells me, "Man, I felt sorry like the first few times. I'm so sorry. Like when I hacked you so badly, like I was like, oh man, I should apologize. I feel so bad for that win. But like now he's like, I'm so glad I gave you like that. It's just so funny. And you can't take anything to chest, man. Like you gotta just like you take the loss and you just gotta like learn, man. And it's funny sometimes to look back
You
on
gotta learn
stuff
not
like
to get hacked. That's what I think.
that. That's probably what Adem feels like every set me. So I'm just shook, man.
Them and me will. Oh my god, we have the biggest trash talk with each other. No matter how someone wins a game, we'll just rip each other afterwards.
Hey man, it doesn't even matter if it's just like Discord games, man. I'm BC. You guys have beef, but you can't. You gotta have that as brothers, man. You can't have you can't let any of your bros like feel good about anything they do sometimes. But family banter is huge. So I love seeing you guys bicker sometimes.
It's fun to play it up for. It's fun to play it up for sure. I like playing the villain or the salty loser. It's way more fun to be that guy than to be. It's way more fun to play that character than the other way around.
Yeah.
But I say it's all them. There's a league that I ended up winning. He obviously lost semis. It was just one of those. But he beat me in both our regular season games, like by a combined 10-0. And I was like, and I was looking at that matchup, and I was just like, my team beats the whole league for the most part. I have no chance to win against him, and I was fortunate to dodge him. So thanks to seeding and everything.
Hey, sometimes that's just how it goes, man. The seeding saves you. I felt like in mid tier, I feel like Hero's team destroyed me. Or I'm pretty sure it was Hero. But yeah, or Pharma's team. I think it might have been Pharma's team. One of those two. I was like, I have nothing for this. Like I'm gonna lose. But thankfully we dodged them. Like we dodged Stone Edges and Sigilith. But
That's what you do. Be better at hacking your opponent.
Yeah. We love Phoenix though. He's always the GOAT, that guy.
Yeah, I love Phoenix too, man. One of my first draft league mutuals I get. So I love the fella, man. So I feel bad about it. But I'm sure, like in a few months, I'm just like, hey man, remember that crazy loss you had because you missed Stone Edge? Nah.
Hey, you get the imaginary ring at the end of it, right? So they don't go to Super Bowl losers. Oh, should they have called pass interference on the other team? They say you're a champion. That's what they say.
Yeah. You're like, crud. I mean, sometimes, sadly, there's hacks, but, or thankfully there's hacks in Pokemon sometimes. It depends on the flip of the coin, man. Sometimes you're happy about hacks, sometimes you're not, and it's just so crazy sometimes.
Yeah, it's like a 16-sided dice that you have to hit a certain number on. But yeah, there's a lot of ways to look at that.
Or like sometimes, man, like you just try to fish for a crit, it never happens. It's just so funny sometimes. But yeah, I mean, I always love that. So I can't complain too much.
Thanks to that sports reference I made, Trent, your Cowboys are off to a solid start this season.
Yeah, but sadly, injuries happen, and we lost the best corner in the game. So
it's not that. Oh my goodness, you better hope we don't see each other in person.
Hey man,
Patrick Surtain looks like he's the best corner in the league. Don't disrespect. Trevon Diggs is maybe the second best corner from Alabama in the NFL, and that's about as good as he'll get.
Hey man. I'm just gonna say that second, Patrick Surtain the second, it's there for a reason. It's not because he's a junior. It's because he's second cornerback behind Trayvon Diggs.
Hey, don't disrespect juniors. I'm Byron Blank Jr. So I'm the second one in my family too. So we're not gonna disrespect the guys who are the seconds. And Patrick Surtain is the GOAT.
juniors are better than seconds, man. You can't change my mind. But nah, yeah, I was just joking
Yeah, because
around,
every
man.
Mexican person has junior as their either their first name they get called it as, even though they're not junior, but they're called juniors.
Yeah. Uh. Yeah.
So what do you?
I can't.
Yeah, how are you feeling about the NFL so far this season? Anything surprised you so far?
I mean, I've been. I don't know if you ever peep the sports channel, right? I do pick'ems every week, and
Mm-hmm.
so far I'm 20 and 16, which is not. I mean, no, is it? No. I'm bad. It's 20 and 12. I'm sorry. I'm 21 and 12 because the Giants suck. But
No disrespect,
um,
neither.
I'm sorry. I forget that y'all are from New York too. Even some
Bronco
partial
fan, but
bias.
yeah, I still root for the Giants, not the Giants.
Yeah. But yeah, so honestly, not too much surprising. If I were to pick one, I'd be the Chargers, but they're the Chargers, so they always do this. So is it really surprising when they suck or like they can't win games?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like they got rid of their offensive coordinator last year when their offense was top 5, and they kept their head coach, who was still the issue. It's kind of crazy that they
Yeah.
didn't make that change.
Hey, that's the Chargers for you, man. But yeah, like for teams, really, I guess you could kind of say the Bears. I was high on the Bears coming into the season, but
Same.
after the first week, I lost all faith in them. Just mind
Nah,
the
Bears
fact that
are
I
gonna
can
play.
see.
They're gonna figure it out.
But yeah, I tried them to beat the Bucks. They didn't do that, so
That
sadly.
was like I'm sick of
But
Baker Mayfield winning games. I don't like that.
no,
I'm not a Baker guy. I'll never be a Baker guy, but they're doing really good so far. I would say I'll say I mean the Bucks really haven't played anyone, right? Like I would say that would have been my biggest surprise, but they have a talented team. So I
hey,
think seeing the
yeah.
Chiefs struggle on offense has been kind of shocking.
Oh
I
yeah.
know Kelsey didn't play week one, but they just make so many mistakes right now. It's gonna be interesting to
Hey,
see how they go throughout the season.
same can go for the Bengals too, man. They look
I think
bad.
I know. I think the Bengals, at least with Burrow, like he's coming off of an injury right now, and he didn't really, play and everything. He's gonna probably need a few weeks to get back into a rhythm. And he started to find a
Yeah,
rhythm in the second half of the last game, but it's a lot. You gotta that position especially. You gotta stay in the flow of things. But if he's missing time constantly, you know, it's gonna be rough.
but yeah. To answer you like fully, I think my biggest surprise is not a specific team, but it's two rookies. Bijan looks like a beast out there, man, which makes sense, right? Because. But his vision is just so crazy. And then Anthony Richardson from the Colts is just amazing too. Like I thought it was gonna take him like a year, a few weeks at least, but he's just very good off the gate, and that's really good to see.
And I don't know. I
But
think a lot of what he's doing right now is kind of what people expected from him, right? He's going to be inconsistent throwing the football, and then running the football, he's going to be a monster, which he's done so far. He's got those physical gifts, which are apparent as hell. Like it's so obvious how physically gifted he is. I think personally, like he's kind of doing what I've expected, playing a little bit better than that because they're moving the ball pretty well, and they've scored a decent amount of points with him at the helm, which is really good to see. We'll see how he develops over the course of the season and over his career. Hopefully he doesn't get injured the rest of the way because last week he had to leave early.
yeah, and then week one he had to do the same.
Yeah, those are unfortunate ones.
Yeah, but I'm sure if the Colts can protect this franchise quarterback, they'll be in a good spot for years to come. Because
Yeah, we'll see.
sadly, as Broncos fans, you might know that finding a good franchise quarterback is hard. After Peyton Manning, of course.
Obviously after Peyton, even before Peyton, it was hard. We had years with Jake Cutler as our franchise quarterback. We had years with Kyle Orton, and we had Jake Plummer was the best
Trevor,
quarterback we had from Elway to Manning. So
Trevor Simeon was quarterback one for a little bit.
he was good for his first 5 games.
Paxton Lynch was supposed to be the savior. He only played like less than 10 games in the league.
I know the Cowboys wanted Paxton Lynch too. Funny enough,
Yeah, thankfully we didn't get him. We got
they would
somebody.
have had him. They would have had Paxton Lynch over Dak Prescott. Think about that.
A lot of people can hate on Dak, but at least he's a good guy. He's won a lot of games, and
Hey,
yeah,
top 15 guy for sure.
take that 5 and put a 0 at least. But yeah, top 10 for sure.
Dude, we have this discussion. Time out. We have this discussion all the time amongst my family.
Yeah, we
Where
do.
do you put Dak?
I would put him at honestly 11, 12.
Oof,
I think that's
tough
fair.
pass.
He's a top 5
tough
quarterback
crowd.
in the NFC. He's top 5 in the NFC, that's for sure. But if he was in the AFC, he would be like 9 or 10 because the AFC is loaded with quarterbacks.
All right, Tua's better than Dak. Aaron Rodgers is better than Dak. Josh Allen's better than Dak. He'd be the 4th best quarterback in that division. Herbert and Mahomes are better. Lamar's better. Burrow's better. Deshaun will say no.
You didn't say Russell Wilson? That's crazy. I thought you were gonna do Russell Wilson prop.
I mean, hold on. The Broncos, as trash as we are, highest scoring team on a points per possession basis right now. So hold on. I listed 8 teams definitively, like no shadow of a doubt. If you want to say Aaron Rodgers is injured, we'll be the 7, right? Jalen Hurts is better. Matt Stafford's better. That's 9. Kyler Murray's debatable, so no. Jared Goff is better. Kirk Cousins is played better. I mean, we're at like 11 as definitives. Let's say 10 definitives if we want to take one of those out. If you want to say, okay, Kirk Cousins is putting up way bigger numbers. Jared Goff has been amazing the last couple of years. Dak, last year and so far this year hasn't really, I guess last game was good, but like his first game was not great.
Hey,
to be fair, it didn't have to be. Not in that game was defense and special teams for the Cowboys.
All I'm gonna say is a quarterback you mentioned went against a defense we beat with Dak, and he threw 3 interceptions and fumbled the ball once. Dak had no turnovers, and he won the game.
Which quarterback was
that? Josh Allen.
Josh freaking go. Okay, you think Dak's better than Josh Allen?
No, I'm just saying, there's some context, there's some context missing,
I know. I talked about last season with Josh Allen turned it. Think about it, Josh Allen. People criticized him for turning it over last season a lot. Dak, who missed like 4 or 5 games, had more picks than him.
But if you counted some of them up, they were on like the sorry wide receivers, man.
That's every quarterback could call that. We're not doing that with just Dak gets that benefit. Just Dak's the only one who.
But like the Jaguars game, man, he hit Noah Brown exactly in the hands, and Bro could not catch it up, man. So,
wait, what about Mahomes week 1 with throwing it to the former Giant boy?
Tony?
Yeah, perfect throw through the guy's hands to the defense that ended a pick 6. I guess that we're gonna. In Mahomes' stats, we say 1 pick. For Dak, do we take those away? Do we say, "Oh, sorry, Dak, that wasn't your fault. We will take it away"? Every quarterback has those kind of picks. Every single quarterback.
Yeah, all I'm saying is if people like Brock Purdy can get good stats because of Yak, we should give wide receivers credit for interceptions.
Hey, look, Brock Purdy might be better than Dak too. He's undefeated in the regular season.
Oh my QB stats aren't a QB stat, man. Zach Wilson was 5-0 like last season or whatever, and he got benched. There's a reason why he got benched when he was like 4-1 as a starter.
Hey, I'm just saying, this guy might. If they make the Super Bowl this year and Dak doesn't with this team, it's going to be kind of hard to put him above Brock, especially because they're both kind of the same kind of quarterback. 2 guys who Dak doesn't run anymore. That used to be like a strength. Now he's big time pocket guy.
But statistically, he's one of the best pocket passers in the league, though.
Yeah, he's like 12th. Like I said, 12th best quarterback in the league.
No. Hey, man. Hey, Aaron Rodgers. doesn't run it anymore. So you
Yeah,
had him
Aaron
over.
Rodgers is like one of the best pocket passers of all time. I even said if we took out Aaron Rodgers because he's injured and last year wasn't good, if even we took him out, there's still like 10, 11 guys that the last couple years have been better than Dak.
Hey man, all I'm gonna say, you had Jared Goff over there. He threw a pick six that lost his team the game, man. So
Jared Goff
Kirk
also put up
Cousins.
30-something points. When's Dak putting up 30-something points on his own with his defense? His defense is not going to even let him lose if he puts up 30. Jared Goff is playing shootouts. What about last season? Jared Goff was way better.
The Cowboys put up 50 against teams, and you were like, nah, it doesn't count because they're bad. I mean, like we put 49. No, that one doesn't count because we had two defensive / special teams touchdowns. But like Dak put up like 42 points against the Cowboys. I mean, against the Bears last season, 40 against the Vikings, and you're like, nah, that doesn't count.
The Vikings with the worst pass defense in NFL history. The Bears, come on. This isn't the 85 Bears. This isn't Brian Urlacher's Bears.
Yeah, the Colts last season too.
What's the other one? I'm sorry. After those two teams?
The Colts.
All right, respectable defense. That one was good.
And we put 40 against the Eagles.
Hey, he has something on the Eagles. He keeps doing good against that team. For whatever reason, Dak against the Eagles, the Cowboys against the Eagles, they find ways to move the ball against them like no one else.
Yeah,
Dak's like he's like the Eagles' kryptonite. It feels like.
Yeah, we always have. It feels like that for like especially like one team that's so much better. Like they're like the kryptonite.
Like you would think the Eagles would smoke the Cowboys the last couple of years, not this year. I think this year the Cowboys are actually gonna, I said it to you before. I think the Cowboys might get the 1 seed this year. Like I felt really good about that team. But now I don't think they're gonna make the Super Bowl because they're the Cowboys. But they'll find a way to mess that up. But everything else, like I think the Cowboys have a really good team. And again, even if a top 12 quarterback, if Dak plays like safe with the ball and he plays well, he's good enough to get into a Super Bowl if he plays well. Again, we'll see in the playoffs where he will ultimately he has to make a play. He has to make the plays to win ultimately because that's the difference.
Against the Jets, he started off like 18 for 18 in passing. It was pretty good.
Last season?
No, this season. Last week, he started 18 for 18. Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Solid, really, really good game by him. Like he played really well last week against a team that's depressed and defeated. No, but all jokes aside with the Cowboys, I think they're a really good team. I genuinely think they're gonna do really good this season. And again, I said that to you before the season started. I was like, I think this team actually could get to the NFC Championship game this year, and if you can make it in the playoffs, you have a chance to get into the Super Bowl for sure. I'm not one of these outside of the random few teams who make it, like last year's bottom AFC teams, like the Ravens and the Dolphins. Like they just didn't have their quarterback, so they made the playoffs, but they were never going to make a Super Bowl. But most teams,
the Ravens almost beat the Bengals with Tyler Huntley. It took a 99 defensive touchdown, 99-yard defensive touchdown to win that game for them.
The Dolphins almost beat the Bills too, like with their backup. It happens.
All I'm saying is, sometimes the top teams in the AFCs are also frauds. Like, some teams in the NFC are like the Eagles this season. Oh wow, I had to call. I'm sorry.
Wow.
That felt personal.
All I'm gonna say is that the Eagles don't scare anybody. At least the start of the season, they can warm up for sure. But like recently, like they don't look scary at all. They look very beatable. Personally, right? Who knows?
Well, if the Cowboys this season, if they don't, I think if the Cowboys don't at least get to the NFC Championship game, that would be a disappointing season. I genuinely think this is the best season for them to do that. They have maybe the best defense in the league. I mean, I think at worst you would say top 3, And on top of that, now they play 2 New York teams, so maybe that doesn't. Maybe their performance so far is a little overrated, but I don't think so. I think those guys are dogs on that side of the ball.
Mhm.
Obviously, losing Trevon Diggs hurts, but we'll see how they do,
It's always
man.
it's always the next man up, sadly. So hopefully, it's gonna be Darren Bland out there.
They always say next man up, but when you have a bum on that position, good luck.
Yeah, it's like Zach Wilson with the Jets. Like next man up. It's like I'd rather have Aaron Rodgers with like one leg out there than Zach Wilson. Like,
Yeah,
it's
seriously.
fine. But yeah, I mean, hopefully this season, it's the most optimistic I've been. I'm gonna just say that.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, injuries happen, so gonna wait. We can't be like the Eagles that have all their starters in the NFC Championship game or something, or in the playoffs in general. You know,
To
some
be
teams
fair,
don't have that.
their
Like,
defense was crazy last season.
yeah, you know, they had the easier schedule. They didn't have to go against any good quarterbacks in the NFC playoff. Yeah, you know, to be as lucky as the Eagles that season, you know, would be something. But
Yeah.
but yeah, all Johnny slash joking aside, hopefully, regardless of luck, we can win some games, make some noise.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Frank. So when you did your episode with each of us, you had us
Mhm.
make a prediction preseason of what's something that's going to happen that doesn't seem likely. Now, I would like to ask you, what's something unlikely that you think will happen this season?
In the NFL
Yeah,
or in the team tour?
I know in the
I was gonna
NFL.
say both. I was gonna say one for both, but um. So I was a big Falcons guy preseason, but they're 2-0. They're gonna be 3-0 after they beat the Lions this week, but so I can't say them sadly. Um. So let me see like a team that's starting off bad. Uh. Ooh. What? Ooh, I don't know if I can say this. I was gonna say the commies. I think the commies have more chance of getting to the playoffs than the Eagles, but that might be too controversial.
Hey, it's your opinion.
uh,
Listen, if that's what you believe,
um,
that's what you believe.
hmm, but I'm gonna go with more of a. Ew, that okay. Well, if yeah, so either that one, right? The Commanders could overtake the Eagles in like seeding, or
Mhm.
hmm, that the Steelers might get over. They might get into the playoffs over any other AFC team, basically.
Oh, so
But I
you're
mean, which is kind of a very lukewarm take. But a lot of people are
Mhm.
really down on the Steelers. But with Mike Tomlin, you always have a chance to make the playoffs. So.
Yeah, for
He's a big.
sure. He's never had a losing season as a coach, which is one of the craziest stats ever.
Yeah, it's so easy to lose too, man. Like, oh man, I'm trying to think of good coaches. Well, I was gonna say Bill, right? But yeah, like Bill, he lost Tom Brady for one season. He had such a bad team, and like he went like pretty bad. He didn't make the playoffs that year. He almost did though with Matt Castle and stuff. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not
They're 11
mistaken.
and
But
5 that season. Yep.
yeah, or like
Yeah.
other like good coaches too. Like Andy Reid has missed the playoffs. I'm pretty sure stuff, or hasn't made like 500 seasons. To though with the Chiefs has been really good though. Right? He's
Mhm.
always made the playoffs. If I'm not mistaken with the Chiefs. At least for like the last 7 years, 6 years. Uh,
Yeah. No, he's been amazing. So Frank, I was gonna say I guess one of the last questions before we close out. You could make your one prediction for the team tour if you want, and then promote if there is any other discords or whatever you want to promote, your YouTube, whatever. You can promote that at the very end. But what's your prediction for the team tour first?
but of course, this maybe you've heard of them. The Fish Farm, very niche team. They're gonna win it all, right? No, no, but my prediction, at least for my team, is that Quillfish Hisui is gonna have the most kills in one of its teams that it's drafted in.
Quillfish
It's gonna
will have the most kills on one of the teams.
Yeah, either mid tier 2 or Rad Red 2.
You know what, Frank? I don't know what's the bet. I'll make a bet that it doesn't happen. You don't have to give me any. If you're right, I don't know. We'll give you like a month of nitro or something or whatever. We'll do something like that.
It's gonna be crazy when I tell them to bring Quillfish to every mid tier game.
Hey, I low-key hope that happens. Anything you want to promote to close it out?
I'm surprised y'all didn't mention this, but I'm surprised you didn't mention Pokemon Jeopardy, man. That's something
we're getting.
I'm proud of.
We'll have that conversation when we get into when we do Pokemon Jeopardy on the channel. But we kind of wanted to just let people get to know you first, and obviously Pokemon Jeopardy. If anyone's not done it yet, talk to Shirmp, and those are some of the most fun things you could do. Obviously, I've been cheated out of wins twice.
Yeah,
people have taken loads out to use money. People have been given the correct amount to bet against me. It's kind of crazy, but it's sometimes people are cheating. And Frank, if you guys want to be a part of a fun experience, you can go to Frank. If you want to be a part of a losing experience, you go to the same guy.
Yeah, so like that's mostly like the thing I've been really proud of. Like I have a lot of side projects, right? Like you mentioned, I also run another podcast. I run a podcast. I have like a Dempsey Net. I have a Hunger Games sim. I do my art. I do my poetry, my everything, right? But yeah, the Pokemon Jeopardy is the thing I'm most proud of, like side project wise. Because it's just there's a lot of questions. It's very niche sometimes, but it's always fun to host. It's always fun to like just talk about Pokemon to like more casual or even more like diehard people. So it's always fun to host them. I might try to like quote unquote teach people how to host them. So if they want to like host a Jeopardy night here, like get more people involved. So I want to push it out there.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Yeah, because I don't want to post a link because then people can cheat and stuff. So I just need like a few people that I can trust that won't leak that information out, like those answers out. So.
Yeah, there's no way you can trust them or me. We'll cheat.
Yeah, he's gonna get those loan sharks again, right? To probably try to beat you too.
Imagine betting money you don't have. But you know what, Frank? That's why you're the GOAT. You're the real GOAT of the server. You make people feel welcomed. You're one of my, when we first met, you were, very, open and one of the nicest people in the community. I hope people realize that, and I know everyone who does get to know you will realize that you're one of the good guys in the community. And
oh man,
you.
You have me out here all emotional, man. But yeah, it's it's hard. I mean, it's good to make people welcome. It's gonna be if they join the SGBL, they know that they're in for a good season. So hopefully we get to see more people. Try to apply or just even it's a great server just to hang out, man. Like I always see y'all in BC, like having fun. I don't play Pokemon Unite, but like that, I'm sure I'll be in BC here all the time. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Frank, thank you so much for the conversation, man. And we are out. Bye, everyone.
Bye.